We're going to move straight on. Erjan Akhmedov from KBTU, Kazakh British Technical University in Almaty, Kazakhstan, where I used to be. And Erjan is going to be talking on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the move to a circular economy and the case of oil exporting countries, of which Kazakhstan is a major one. So Erjan, my friend, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. One sec, let me, okay, yeah. So I hope everybody can see my presentation. Yeah,
we can.
Yeah,
we can.
Great. Hello everybody again. It's my honor and pleasure to speak at this important event. And I would like to start with deep thanks and appreciation to the organizers of this conference. Yeah, so this is my topic, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the move to a circular economy, case of oil exporting countries. Yeah, and this is the slide with information about our university, but I know well that we are very limited by time, so I will skip it. And let me start with the introduction. Yeah, straight with the introduction. Yeah, so just few points. Well, unfortunately, benefits of a more circular economy haven't been recognized as a major economic opportunity. Oops, sorry, I probably. Yeah, sorry, I missed one slide. Yeah, So the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected health and disrupted economic life around the globe. Yeah, all of you know that pretty well. Yeah, but unlike other parts of the world, the European Union especially, circular economy efforts became largely forgotten in the oil exporting countries during the pandemic, with some exceptions, of course, but that was the major trend. Yeah. Unfortunately, what I should note in this regard, that not only circular economy, but many other things were forgotten during the pandemic, and sometimes I even felt that there is no other diseases except the COVID-19. Yeah. So, well, but many people, they didn't get proper medical treatment during that time. Yeah, but okay, well, so in any case, what is important to stress is that circular economy remains a path the oil exporting countries will have to follow to make their economies more resilient and protect the environment. And more time is required to properly analyze the impact of pandemic. Well, we cannot even say that it came to an end. Well, maybe we will see new waves of this disease. We don't know that yet. And of course, there is a need to revisit the efforts of the countries in this direction. Yeah, so benefits of a more circular economy haven't been recognized as a major economic opportunity in this country. This is very unfortunate, but that is the case. That is the situation. And despite all economic troubles, there were positive sides as well. The environmental degradation was temporarily discontinued. Yeah. And well, there were videos on dolphins in the canals of Venice, for example. So well, that is just one, but maybe the most famous example. And also, this research is a part of a bigger one aimed at studying challenges of transitioning to a circular economy in these countries. Yeah. So. I would like to also make clear what countries I'm talking about. So this is the list of the countries which exported the highest dollar value of crude oil during 2020. Yeah, as you can see, most of the countries mentioned here are either entirely or partially situated in Asia. Yeah, so this is well, this is what we I mean, this is the relevance of my topic to the topic of this conference. And the countries, of course, the countries listed above are different in terms of the ecological footprint and the level of economic development. Yeah, yeah. One sec, we'll just, the slides are not moving. One sec, sorry. Yeah, here, well, yeah. So this is the list of countries by the ecological footprint. Yeah, so what you can see that most of the countries, especially the North American ones, the United States and Canada, and in addition to that, we can mention the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. They have the highest ecological footprint. Yeah, but in the other countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Norway, the ecological footprint is also quite high. Yeah, and just two countries, Iraq and especially Nigeria, they have relatively low ecological footprint. One can ask, why should we care about this topic at all, and why we should consider oil exporting countries separately? Yeah. So the answer is as follows. So these countries have, as you can see, the largest ecological footprint. So it is logical to pay special attention to these countries. And it is also logical to consider the oil exporting countries separately, as they have a lot in common. Yeah. And moreover, there is a widespread misbelief that circular economy is dangerous for these countries, as it can potentially bring the reduction of their oil and gas revenues and living standards. And this misbelief is especially widespread in the oil exporting countries. Well, many people there, they don't, either openly or quietly, but they are against. We have faced that and already, during our research and before that. So another point is that the COVID-19 pandemic has largely discontinued efforts towards transitioning to circular economy in most of the countries under consideration. Yeah, I've touched upon this already. Yeah, and also the pandemic has negatively affected revenues in these countries, and of course the situation with budget revenues is important for promoting circular economy efforts. Yeah, here I have two slides on our methodology. Yeah, but since we are limited by time, I will probably skip them. Yeah, yeah, but I will be ready to return if required. Yeah, and also there are several important points to note. Yeah, so the forthcoming end of the oil era is unavoidable and will, for a large extent, discontinue oil revenues in these countries. Yeah, we have to be ready for that. Yeah. Also, already mentioned ecological footprint. Yeah, so the path towards transitioning to circular economy for these countries is unavoidable, wish they that or not. Yeah? And transitioning to circular economy will improve general health of the world's population, and this will make the world more resilient to future disruptions, yeah, and of like COVID-19, well, or something like that. And in addition to clear environmental benefits, circular economy offers multiple long-term economic benefits as well. Unfortunately, this hasn't been well, such economic benefits haven't been recognized yet. Yeah, and they include, for example, the fact that it encourages economic diversification and reduces the need for imports. And both topics are very important for the oil exporting countries. Let me mention about the challenges identified by our respondents. They include cheap and abundant energy. Yeah, of course, this is good. Well, but as a result, many in the oil exporting countries do not feel the real need to transfer to circular economy. Another point is lack of financing, yeah, even in the developed oil exporting countries. When we asked some of our respondents from the, say, North America, and we said something like, of course, you don't have any problem with financing, and the reaction was a bit nervous. Well, of course we do, yeah, so something like that. Then imperfection of the legal and regulatory framework and control over its implementation, this is known. And enforcement also, it's often the biggest problem. Then harsh climatic conditions in many OECs, well, in that results in the situation then people, they wish they or not, but if you live, say, in Saudi Arabia, yeah, you will need to use air conditioning. Or if you live somewhere in Russia or north of Russia or north of Canada, well, you will spend a fortune on heating. Yeah, so that's unavoidable. And then shortage of qualified and motivated personnel able to plan and implement CE policies, lack of useful technologies. And another one is losing repair skills. Yeah, so more repairing is an important element of circular economy. Yeah, but we have heard many complaints, but people, well, they have largely lost such skills, unfortunately. Yeah, and also what I would like to mention, yeah, when we started to, well, this research, we didn't think about pandemic, but well, the discussion, well, anyway, well, it was rotating around pandemic, as it was such an important topic lately. And so we decided to collect those responses as well. Yeah. So as we've mentioned, as I've mentioned, the pandemic diverted attention of governments and general public from the topic. Then the pandemic caused short-term market shocks like oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia in March 2020. And then there was even the, well, first time in history, there was a period of negative oil prices in April of that year. And then, of course, falling oil prices caused by a drastic drop in oil demand around the world. Then already mentioned falling investments in CE projects and global economic contraction and loss of revenues, disruption of global supply chain, and then negative effect of COVID-19 on the activities of environmental NGOs. Yeah, that was happening. Yeah. Then also,
can I hurry you along a bit, please?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Tons of used PPEs. Yeah, like that. Okay, so here are the reasons for challenges. Well, so please, have a look at what I've highlighted with blue. Yeah, that is a good indication. Yeah, also what I would like to mention pay attention to is the mentality. Yeah, unfortunately, the pursuit of luxurious lifestyle is very typical for many oil exporting countries. Yeah. So that's about the reasons for challenges. I'm sorry for running out of time. And here are the policy recommendations we have identified, thanks to our respondents. Yeah, here you are. And that is the conclusion. Yeah, so we continue to work in this direction, yeah, increase our respondents and more in-depth study of our drivers and barriers. Yeah, and of course there is a need to promote circular economy efforts anyway. Yeah, so thank you very much, and Ken, I'm terribly sorry for running out of time. Yeah.
Sure. Do we have any quick questions for Erjan? If there's anything, otherwise we'll follow on with questions a little bit later. And that the circular economy is something that the recycling, reusing as long as possible, the minimum impact on the environment, it's a big issue, and we'll come back to it. So thanks for the question, Patricia. So we'll come back to this subject. It's okay. So thanks kindly, Erjan. Thanks kindly. It's okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure.